Hello everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play CK2 with King Sentret of England. Yes, we're back again for another CK2 session. Yesterday rekindled the fire within me and I'm eager to play some more, so Disco Elysium will follow later in the week. I'm having another session of CK2. I've been doing some research off camera, trying to figure out what we might want to do next with our frivolous king, Mr. Seducer personified King Sentret of England. And whilst I was observing, we know that we have a problem on the east with the Umayyad. We know we have a problem in the centre with the Italians now. You know, Muslims on two sides. And then as I was doing my research, I noticed that there was an issue here as well. I mean, the Empire of Bulgaria was formerly Orthodox and has just recently seen another conversion. So we have another Muslim ruler on our borders to worry about. East, centre, west. No. East, centre, west. I don't know my east from my west. We're beset. We're beset on all sides. This is frightening, must be said. What do we do? Well, for the time being, the main concern is Italy. It is the closest to the papacy, and therefore this is the primary objective, is getting this back in the hands of the Christians, the Catholics to be precise. Then we might start looking further afield if other people don't do something about it before we do. So what are we going to do? Well, today's session I've got a few things listed for us to achieve and to go through, and if we have time after that, we'll start the time rolling. Okay, and I could have done this off camera, but I'm going to give you a précis, but no, I'm going to do it on camera. So we're going to remove him from the commanding position and let the retinue continue without his presence there. Okay, right. Catholics and Orthodox. I've done a tiny bit of research, and it wasn't completely out of the question for them to marry or to betroth, if the case may be. Christian, both Christian, and there's a kind of a mutual respect, well, there is nowadays at least, in relation to the fact that they, you know, same religion, just kind of slightly different practices, different arms of the same religion, lots of similarities there, and, you know, respectful differences. And given that we're in a time of great urgency, beset now on all sides, particularly so close to home, sometimes things have to be embraced, such as marriages with Orthodox people, if it's going to benefit the good of the Catholic realm. So perhaps our father will be spinning in his grave, but maybe he wouldn't, because he was a zealous man and even he would recognise the enormity of the problem we are facing. So we've sent envoys henceforth to the Byzantine Empire to have a word in the Basileus's ear that an alliance between our people would be beneficial given the situation. Our father was a walking holy man. His reputation precedes him, and we are an extension of our father's work. So, you know, together we can repel the Muslim threat in Bulgaria if need be, and in Italy. Let's work together to achieve that end. So to kind of grease the wheels, we are going to betroth finally our daughter, I believe, or was it a son? No, it's our daughter to this fella here. This young man, he's not the heir because he wasn't born in the purple. Prince Michel, or Prince Michael, however you wish to pronounce that. But Adelaide is finally getting married, or betrothed at least. So yeah, we're going to get some prestige from marrying, from marrying into an empire, into an emperor's child. It's a prestige gain for a change. And it's going to allow us to start working on a potential alliance. So we're going to get that sent over. In the meantime, our relationship with this chap isn't marvellous. There is some religious difference there, which is fine. It's to be expected. So we're going to work on by swaying. If you can sway somebody that's not in our realm or court, I think you can. And then we're also going to send forth our Chancellor to improve diplomatic relations as well. So we really are looking to get that relationship up so we can convince him that an alliance is in all of our best interests. So, yeah, that's our first plan, an alliance with the Byzantines. And an kind of, what would you call it? It's not faith, is it? It's the same faith, it's the same religion, but a kind of an inter-branch marriage. And it's like a fourth child, you know. It's not as if it's the next in line to the English throne. So that's that sorted. Let's have a look now. Marshal, we're going to train some troops in here, because he was trying to improve our command, our son's command ability, but we're going to now start looking at just getting our own troop numbers up, and training the troops there is a good start. And then we turn our attention to matters once again in Wales, because we spotted something that was quite irksome in the last session, and perhaps word on the grapevine has got back to the king that this man that he allowed to keep his position isn't quite so honourable after all. I mean, he's slothful and he's greedy, and he's actually become kind, which is, he didn't have kind before. He had cruel, and where's his cruel trait gone? It's now become kind. It's just to mock me. It's just to mock me and my plans, but my plans will not change. We have made our mind. This is probably just a ruse. Like our shyness was a ruse, this is a ruse. I'm a kind man, he says. Don't do anything to me, I'm very kind. When we know all along you have been an ill ruler. So we have a claim, a strong claim against the county of Glwinsing. Our son is in need of some land. Which son, you ask? Well, I shall tell you which son. Our son by the name of Bertnoth, of course. Now, he's homosexual. Unless he was to come out and tell us that, how would we know that? At this moment in time, we probably wouldn't. He's a bit uncouth, but there's a lot of virtues and a bit of ambition. And we really want him to... We want to see him in action. Because there's still hope for him. Under his own devices and a few years of experience, he may still come good. In terms of furthering the Johansson's grip on the English throne. So we're going to give him some land. We're going to utilise our strong claim to ask this man to step aside, which he will kindly do without any fuss at all. And then once he has stepped aside, we're going to allow our son to take over, and we're going to also create the duchy title, the Duchy of Glwinsing, which is not yet created, and we can create it. And then we're going to make our second eldest son a duke, which is going to tick off our eldest son, no doubt. Well, what about me? Well, you're heir to the Duchy of York. If we don't take over the Kingdom of England, York is primogeniture, and we will revert back to a Duke of York, and we will control our eldest son. So he has something to come. He's just going to have to wait till we die first. And we're also going to make him the designated regent as well. It's an honorary title, but still, it's just to kind of show that, you know, you're not forgotten. Don't worry, you're not forgotten, but we've got other plans for you, pal. So that's fine there. And then we turn to matters of technology, because we've got quite a few technology points. So in the same kind of vein, we are trying to strengthen our heavy infantry. We're going to be known for our mighty, proficient and well-equipped Huskarl units, the Johann's holy Huskarls. They will reap havoc on the battlefield. People will tremble when they see a mighty infantry force marching upon them. The spirit of Johann hacking and slashing in the vanguard will be strong in their minds as they fight. And so we're going to increase even further their morale and their prowess in defence. Although I'm quite tempted to go make it attack, because it's more an aggressive strategy rather than a defensive one. But let's have a look. Let me see here. 333, 333. Do we go 30%? Do we go a little bit extra attack, or do we go a little bit of extra defence and morale? You know what? We'll go defence and morale. We'll go defensive. We don't want them to be headless lunatics, you know. We want some discipline here. So increasing the infantry proficiency, which will affect more than just the heavy infantry. It will affect the archers as well, and any pikemen that we have, and light infantry too. So it's an all-round increase there. Shipbuilding, because we're lacking a little bit, and it's just a nice little touch up there. Cities and temples to give us extra city tax money. We are taxing the burghers a little bit more, so extra coin will be beneficial, given we're pumping money now into infrastructure going forward. And majesty as well, to increase piety and prestige gain. And also I'm going to go for tolerance, which is going to improve our or decrease the penalty for different cultures and religion, which will help with the Basileus. I've just realised now, it wasn't on my list, but I'm going to do it. So that should help with the Basileus' opinion of us. So see, it might be an instantaneous decrease. Let's have a look. It won't be much, but every little helps in these situations. Is it gone down? It's still pretty much the same. That's fine. Maybe when we start the ball rolling, it might take time just to rectify itself. We'll double check on that. And in Hull, we are going to build a keep. We do not have one, and so that is what we shall do. Start to focus on the infrastructure in Leeds and Hull, just in case we go back down to a duke. We need to ensure that Leeds and Hull are as advanced as they can be, so that we're that we're in a good position. Even if we are a duke, we'll still be quite a powerful duke within the land, militarily and sort of infrastructurally. Okay, and the final piece of the puzzle before we start the ball rolling, because I'm kind of rifling through these today to get you some gameplay in. Yeah, the situation here is not good, is it? Now, apparently, I've been pointed out that crusading every 30 years is the kind of norm around here. It's not been anywhere near 30 years since the last crusade. Another crusade can be called at the year 1000. And we're kind of like 18 years away from that. So we can't wait 18 years for this to rectify itself. So we're going to have to take action now. The action we could take is to kind of weaken the enemy by maybe taking a couple of duchies in holy war. You know, papal war for Ancona, Ferrara or Spoleto. Issue with that is the enemy can call fellow Muslim leaders to his cause, because it's a kind of a holy war, isn't it? Well, I think fellow Catholics could join as well, but it's going to get messy. And we're not up for messy. As I said previously, he'll do things if it suits him. He'll do things if it's going to be almost nailed on victory, if it's going to be kind of detrimental or too close to call, especially land far, far away. We're just going to kind of look after our own people first. If this was on our borders, then we would definitely take action. You know, if this was Scotland that's converted, then we would be taking action definitely. But this is a long way away from us. So we can't really be doing with all this hoo-ha with other factions joining, it's too much of a fuss. But what might not be too much of a fuss, if the situation presented itself, would be a clean war. This man has no allies so far. So if we were to war non-holy, then he couldn't draw anybody else into his fight. And it'll be one-on-one, mano-a-mano. Preferably, it might be two-on-one if we can wrangle in the Byzantines as well. But what can we do? What kind of claim, what kind of war can we wage then? Well, we look to the claimants to the kingdom title. And we look for claimants that are Catholic. Catholic claimants that should perhaps have a better right than this man to rule this country, to rule this realm. And we see one right here. He's third in line to succession. Adelmio Delfino. I mean, I like the name. Very nice name. Willing to join our court. He has a weak claim, unfortunately. Be that as it may, it can still be pressed in certain situations. Certain situations may occur. We're going to invite him to our court. Likewise, Godofred. He's cynic. He's cruel. But he's Catholic. And having this place in the hands of a cynical, cruel Catholic is better than having this in the hands of a Muslim. So we prefer this guy who is content and erudite and fortune builder. He's better. Not marvellous, but better. So, yeah. We prefer him, but ultimately, beggars can't be choosers right now. So 2 people coming to our court with weak claims, because he's got a weak claim too. And if the situation presented itself, such as a regency, a female ruler, if someone was to challenge his claim in a succession war, whatever the other prerequisites are to a weak claim being pressed, we shall keep a very, very close eye on the situation. And therefore we'll mark him as an important character. So there you go, that is pretty much everything sorted. Let me just double check, go down my list. Spy Master. He's currently, oh yeah, that's fine. He's still building a spy network. So he's still working on, he's over there, wrong place. Let's come closer to home. Because of all these factions and stuff, we're kind of like getting a bit paranoid. Like, what's going on? I mean, there's probably a little bit of wrangling involved here with Sentret. His father was well loved, massively loved. Very rarely was there a faction against him. Everybody loved him. And he likes to think that he's not too far from his father. You know, he's taking on his father's virtue. He's a crusader like his father was. He's zealous like his father was. He's crowned by the Pope like his father was. He's showed many virtues like his father. His father's teachings are rubbed off on him. We've openly told people that we are willing to continue our father's hard work, but yet still there are people out there that do not like us. There are people out there that are plotting and scheming and joining factions to make our life a misery. And I think it hurts him. Is it perhaps that he's maybe showed a little bit too much of a soft touch? Many people expected her to be killed after the fact that she killed his father and plotted to kill his son, and he's put her in house arrest. Perhaps people are thinking maybe if this was Johann. You know, Johann was known for his justice. Had people executed and sent people to nunneries and things, and perhaps if this was Johann in charge, that she wouldn't have got off quite so lightly. Maybe they're thinking he's a soft touch. But anyway, he just wrangles him that there's these factions and stuff, and because of that also he's just beginning to watch his back. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. So they're ending all of their plots, and we have new arrivals in our court. Okay. And he stepped aside. I think we got the message there that he has stepped aside. So we are now in charge here. That's fine. So we shall create the Duchy of Gluinsing, which is going to cost us a bit of gold and give us some prestige. It's fine. Duchy of Gluinsing, and then we go to our son Byrhtnoth of England, and we grant him a landed title, including undertitles, Duchy and County of Gluinsing, to enable him to showcase his talent for rulership. And who knows, under his own steam, he may prove to be a useful ruler. We're hoping he proves to be a proficient ruler. There is an element of ambition about us, and we want to see our family continue to rule in England. But for the time being, we are still holding out that maybe one of our children might end up being a chip off the old block. We now turn to Aidwulf. Okay. Oh, here we go. That smooth and slightly malty taste, refreshing with just the right amount of bitter. Oh, these monks certainly know the art of brewing. So the chance we become drunk and the chance we gain learning, and thanks but no thanks. Our father was renowned, of course, for being a drunkard. It's not escaped the bard's notice that it was his drunkenness that got him killed, actually, pretty much. But I'm going to actually say thanks but no thanks to this, because simply we are not a monastery person. We practice in private. We don't partake in any societal activities. We don't visit monasteries. For whatever reason, we have visited this one, but we're kind of a self-practicer. We don't tend to do the kind of thing that our father did and make it overtly sort of public knowledge about his religious ways, because we've got other things to worry about. You know, we're running a country here. So, yeah, we're not really tempted to visit the monastery more often just to sample the wine. We really don't have time. We would much prefer to be sleeping with ladies, for instance. So here we go. Young Ailswith has finished her education in diplomacy. It's turned out pretty badly, as we thought it would do, because we didn't pick a good one for her. But she is a bastard child, and she will probably now be married off to somebody far away. Naive Pisa. Let's take a look at her. Let's pause it for a second, just in case we may wish. Yeah, she's average at best. She's average. She's chaste, which is good. Just gregarious and she's not. Oh yes, of course. She is betrothed to the Prince of France, maybe a future Queen of France. Funnily enough, of all the things, sister did well there, didn't she? Betrothed can marry, of course, enjoy. I forgot she was betrothed to the future King of France. Yeah, this is not ideal, considering that you're betrothed to the Emperor of the Byzantine Empire's son, and we need you to continue to live so that we can get that alliance. Call for my composition at once. Much prayer is required. Good stuff. And so off she goes. Oh, look at that. The very son who we have just given a duchy to test him, to see how he rules, and he has already joined the council, or the faction to increase council power in England. You stab us in the back with the power we've given you. Wow. That is a cheek. That is an absolute cheek. Who's he voting for in the... He is voting for the same person that we voted for in relation to the Kingdom of Wales election. Oh, look at that. It seems that France have whittled away an extra little bit of land from old King Acfred. King Robert the Just. Well done, sir. And how has that affected him? Has he 5,000 men? Well, about 6,000 from vassals. We're talking about 10,000 troops here by the looks of it. He's also got hired troops as well. So he's still relatively strong. But that's good. It's good to see us pushing back. We'll see what develops as time progresses onwards. A diet of bread and water does not satisfy me anymore. I need something else, something delicious and filling. And I have broken my fast with wine and quail. We are no longer temperate. We are losing our virtues. We lost diligent, and we have now lost temperate. One by one they fall. Perhaps it is the fact that this is happening to us in relation to our vassals. We're just kind of turning away from being good, and maybe we'll turn nasty at some point. Who knows? But yeah, another virtue gone. Of course, he's still a good ruler. Yeah, what was I saying? We're adventurous. Seniority is disbanded. Good. Somebody has seen the light. Okay. So ambition. We are ambitious, and we have just kind of turned our attentions here to this lady who is the Queen of Munster. We could, should we wish to do so. Oh, Cardinal! Somebody's bumped him off, I'm telling you. Someone has bumped our Cardinal off. No more English Cardinals. I'm a conspiracy theorist, and that's suspicious. So what was I saying? So yes, this lady here, she kind of interfered in one of the wars for Wales that I seem to recall, and we could, if we so desired, get a claim on the entire petty kingdom of Munster, and then start looking at perhaps capturing this again. Being ambitious. Would we choose to do so? It's kind of close. She's a cynical ruler. She's club-footed, ugly. She's interfering. She's cruel. Do these people need releasing from her grasp? She can summon 1,200 of her own troops and some from her clan rivals. Or clan rivals. Clan... what would you call them? Allies? Her clan folk? So it's well within our powers to hop across here and deal with the situation. But there is a problem in that she has a few allies. Mind you, they're all chiefs within her realm, so they're probably already accounted for in that total there of 2,337. We capture the entire duchy, the title, not any of the land, I don't believe. But then, like we did with Deheubarth, we can kind of manipulate it under our rule, maybe even install A duke of our choosing there. We're going to hang fire with that, but I'm kind of eyeing it up. We can't stay stagnant for too long. We have a legacy to leave behind, of course. Be ambitious and all that. And plus, she did interfere in our war, and she is a cruel ruler, so there is reason to take action there. Okay. A petty, not a pretty. He's got women on the brain. A petty noble from Paris has spent a week visiting Leeds, constantly bragging about his wealth and estates back home, insulting his local peers, and behaving like royalty. Your courtiers are quite sick of him and are asking you to take action. Of course, we shall write a formal complaint to the King of France about this man's behaviour, because that's what we would do. And, you know, we've got slight marital ties now. Slight marital ties. In fact, the marital ties are strong enough for us actually to be able to form an alliance if we wished. But political concerns and all that, and plus, given the history between our two countries, would we go for an alliance? I don't know. I suppose we could play the bigger man and put our differences aside and start afresh, but for the time being, it's not going to happen. But yes, a strongly worded letter, affixed with the seal of House Johansson. I feel insulted that the first thing you do is accuse my people of being ill-behaved. Did you ever consider that he may be a fraud? Of course not, you drivelling jester. I will let this go. What on earth? No, what on earth? Does this look like the face of a man who's lying? That is easily fooled? I bring to you issues that need resolving and you just brush them aside and insult me? Oh, indeed, this changes things. We go from flirting with the idea of an alliance to completely and utterly breaking our non-aggression pact. Quite the different outcome there than first envisaged. Ah! Seems your little plots to have my cardinals assassinated has backfired, hasn't it, whoever you are out there is doing this? Because we have another English cardinal now. It's Cardinal Morcar of Ramsbury. Of Somerset. He's in Somerset, which is where the future king is, if things stay exactly the same. Which I suppose is a feather in the cap of the future king. I suppose having a cardinal within his own realm, his own little capital area, would really endear him to the people. Right, okay, fine. Maybe I should write a letter to Basileus Demetrius to try to convince him of my good intention. Perhaps you forthright message? Not a good idea. I mean, our last letter to the King of France didn't go too well. Maybe we're not a writer. Maybe we don't have quite the writing skills of our father. But you know what? We're going to try. And if he snubs us, then perhaps we'll give up writing. Maybe I should have been a bit less blunt. Yeah. Give up writing, Sentret. Take up other pursuits. Maybe a bit of falconry, perhaps? The Byzantine Holy War for Mosul has ended. Basileus. Ooh, what's this holy war? So he's won a holy war, so he's probably just captured a whole chunk of land that we can't see. I'm thinking it's here, you know. This seems to be a bit more out this side, isn't it? What's this? Is this the Duchy of Mosul, maybe? Yes, it is. Yeah, there you go. Chunk of land out here. Okay. Even more reason for us to want to befriend this guy and get him on our side. He's a powerful man. 15,000 troops at his disposal. That's an alliance that could really wreak havoc in Italy. Come on. Chancellor, what are you doing? Aethelwerd. Flipping, make him see sense. Oh, Ho 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 ho! Looks like I spoke perhaps just a little touch too soon. The letter was in the post. Right, my lover Bjorgifu is with child. Once again, she has to kind of convince her husband that the child is his. She convinced him last time. Let's hope she can convince him again. Right, here we go. Perfect. That could be it. That could be it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oops. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. Oh, non-aggression pact now, sir? Yes, look at that. Well played, Aethelweird. Well played. Well played indeed. That's the first step. Keeper of the Swans. Honorary title for your hard work. Right. Now let's see if we can convert that into one last step. A full-blown alliance. It's probably not high enough for an alliance. Oh, it is! Oh, it is! It is, it is, it is! He wants to form a proper alliance. Yes! Yes, indeed. I think that is a spiffing, wonderful idea. Of course, we may be required to help him out in his wars, and his wars are a long way away from us. That's the other bad thing about it. Especially if you don't honour that alliance, it might cause a bit of a rift. But we'll just kind of ply him with niceties. Keep working, Aethelweird. Keep working your charms. And every time we don't join and help him out, he might just forgive us. It's a long way away, you know. Whereas if we were to join forces for Italy, he's on the doorstep. He's got more of a reason to want to help us. But look at that. Sentret and Beatrix the Genius. They've had a child. We're kind of relying on the... In the last session, I kind of mentioned that this was the wrong betrothal. When I thought about it, it might actually be the right betrothal. Because his wife is a genius, and if any of their children, particularly this eldest son, fingers crossed right now, becomes a genius as well, and we might be able to instill ambition perhaps as well, that would potentially lead to him being a really good guy, with the right education as well. And given that we may control Sentret if we revert to Duke of York, having him be his eldest son, you know, it might actually have worked out. So eldest son is named after the father, which is Sentret, so this is now Sentret the Third. Could have just used that, I suppose. Let's see him. Did he inherit the genius trait? Oh, you blasted buffoon. No, he didn't. Okay, that's fine. Why have you got that on? Are you going to the convent, my dear? Who knows? We may still have her educate the child, actually, because she is really good with diplomacy. She seems like she would be a good teacher. But anyway, Sentret the Third, Sentret Junior is not a genius. It's a shame. Okay. Alliance accepted. So, the plan is afoot. We have the claimants ready and waiting. We have the alliance with the mighty force to Italy's east. All we need now are the circumstances to fall in our favour, and we can really get in the Pope's good graces by completely removing the Muslim threat from here in Italy. Now, are we the kind of person that would arrange an assassination? Probably not. And it's very unlikely to succeed by the looks of it. But look at that, he's at war again. Just noticed. Who's he at war with now? The Duke. Holy war for Corsica. And the Duke is winning. The King of Brittany is involved, and the King of Navarre is involved. So people are chipping away at him quite nicely. Chipping away they are. I like this. He may have bitten off more than he can chew. Let's have a look at forces. Still not too shabby. Looking at about sort of 6,000 now. Just short, about 5 and a bit thousand. 5,583. Probably it's quite accurate actually. We could beat that. Okay. Aidwulf is opening one of my letters. I teach him. No. Being able to read is a good trait, and as a learned man, we appreciate somebody that wants to learn. Good lad. Keep going. But you know, just ask me in future. That's all we ask. Just ask. This is never going to happen. Ooh, another holy war. This is a warmongering guy. Is he going to ask us for assistance, or is he going to have this under control? So he's declared a holy war for Crimea on Khan of the Pechenegs, Khan Ipa III of the Pechenegs. Oh, Pechenegs right there. He's expanding north. He ain't messing around, this guy, is he? So how many men do you have, sir? Do you have enough to repel? It is a holy war, so people may join him, other rulers and whatnot. Potential vassal allied troops, 8,500. Okay, good luck with that. Don't ask me to help, please. Alliances work both ways, Sentret. Alliances work both ways. Okay, our keep has been built. We're now up to 14 gold per year. King Alfred has inherited a mosque. He's flipping factions. 41% increased council power. Would you credit that? And again, she's managed to convince her husband that the child is his and we don't have to worry. But we are skirting and sailing very close to the wind with our affairs here. Surely someone, somewhere, is going to find out about our escapades at some point. But God only knows how. Nobody has formally found out about our 3 love interests right now. Other than, of course, our wife, who, as you can quite clearly see, we both have a mutual respect now. Once again, we know she's unfaithful, but as I said, she's possessed. I remember that from before as well. We're free to go about our business and enjoy our lives. Special tithe, you say. 117 gold, you say. Put that to good use, you say. Why, thank you. And so we shall. Let's have a quick look at what we're going to do then. Okay, I think we'll focus on our capital. Good old Leeds. Why not? A Huskal trading ground would be quite fitting, given that we have Huskal, holy Huskals right here in the city, the retinue, the standing army, a place where they can train, where they can house themselves, a place where they can hone their skills, would be most beneficial. So we'll have that built. As I said, our infantry will be feared. Peasant revolt has ended, so the Byzantine Empire is a busy place, you know, very busy, lots of borders and wars going on. Yeah, Bulgaria has actually taken a bit of land from him, and down here too. This is most concerning. It really is. Although right now there's a new emperor in town, and a child at that. If ever there was an opportunity to pounce and strike, now would be it. What about putting like a weak? What about putting like a weak claimant, a weak? Oh boy, he's already at war with the Pechenegs. I'm quite tempted. It's a long way away, and it would be a massive effort. Because you'd have to take a lot of land to get this through. But he's a weak claimant, right? He's a lunatic weak claimant, but he's Catholic. We could actually convert Bulgaria to Catholicism right here. Don't know if she would have the relevant... I don't know if the relevant succession laws would allow a woman to inherit. So there's only one candidate. But he's Catholic. We could have Bulgaria, a Catholic ruler in... Don't know if that'd fly, given that most of these people are Orthodox. It might cause more problems than it's worth. But at the very least, it would remove this urchin from power. He's got not a lot of troops. He's got like 3,000-4,000 troops. We team up with the Byzantine Emperor, if he would allow... If he would join the war, he's not forced to. He may do, though. And if he does... we could get rid of a big problem, a big thorn in his side. They've taken some land. Oh my god, this is really, really interesting. I'm going to end the session here. It's not quite my usual 1st of January, but time is ticking, and a couple of decisions need to be discussed, my friends. So what do you think? We can't do anything with Italy just yet. We're keeping an eye. Hopefully we'll be able to prosper one of the Catholic claimants we've invited over when the time is right. But it appears that there's a more pressing issue. Now, first of all, we could ignore all of that and we could expand our own horizons, be a bit selfish, and we could turn our attentions to Munster. Old Queen CK2, the affable. Could do. But in the grand scheme of things, we're ambitious, and taking a little petty kingdom over there is not a feat that we will be remembered for when it comes to the crunch. But if it's possible, and I'll have to see if it is possible, one thing that we could be remembered for is sailing our troops due east to Bulgaria, an empire, under the clutches of the Muslims, and in a show of power, demonstration of power to our new allies, a show of diligence, we remove a threat from their border. We remove this man, we put a Catholic person here, a Catholic claimant on the throne, we beat them in military combat. Wouldn't that be quite the tale to tell? Maybe that might whip some of our vassals into shape and get them to bloody shut their mouths and comply. An interesting prospect. Let me know what you think. I don't know, I'm looking at the webcam here. I have no webcam. I'm looking at the webcam as if it's a recording. So yeah, that interests me very much. And then when the time comes, hopefully the Byzantine Empire will repay their faith, and when the time is right for Italy, they can help us out too. But hey, we don't mind offering that kind of olive branch first. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Is it feasible? Is it as simple as it seems? Who knows? Right. But that will be in the next session, of course. So to find out what Sentret will choose to do, join me next time. Until then, see you soon.